over the promotion. Um, and I'm going to share it two ways because obviously the numbers that I talk about apply to you and me and us. But what's most important is those numbers apply to the people that we enroll and being able to share with them, earning double up to triple the commissions for 90 days. If you word it right, say it right, and share it with enough people, you can have the biggest 90 days you ever had in this business. It's that simple. So, but before I start, I hope everyone had a great Easter weekend and got to enjoy friends and family and pay thanks to God and everything else out there. I was teasing April last night. I said she got like a 4 day birthday out of this. It started on Thursday, it continued Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was a good run. It was like the kids came by. It was, the fur babies visited for a while. That always helps since we don't have them just yet. We're considering new fur babies when we get back from Las Vegas. But it's always good to have the kids fur babies for a little while because then when we've had enough, they can go home. Yeah, it's got its benefits. So, but anyway, I'm going to go right to the slides. Let me share the slides and we will start. Okay. So, and again, I had mentioned, please take some notes on this. There's just going to be a lot of new stuff. As you know, it is recorded, okay? But please take notes on this and we'll go from there. But there's a lot of momentum right now going on in the company. March was big, okay? March was a very, very big month. Not everybody took advantage of it. Some took advantage of it more than others. And I don't just mean the sale for the last 5 days, just the month in general was a very good month. But obviously, whenever the company does a 20 off sale, that boosts things up too, and it gives everyone a chance to get a good value and good bargain on the products. But I always mention Power Hour. It was today. So if you missed it, you missed it. But obviously, it's every Monday at 4 o'clock. Like I said, March was a big month. Congratulations to all. I'm going to do some recognition, but please write this date down. Tuesday, April 21st. That's the Tuesday after Vegas. Okay, we go home Sunday. It's that Tuesday. That will be our team opportunity Zoom. So Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern. All the shareables, the invites, I'll show them to you. They're on the hub, the Team Unity hub on Facebook. They're also on what's the other one? Telegram. Okay. Um, the two big announcements from April 1st and 2nd last week, we'll go over the details with them in a minute. The registration for Las Vegas is closed, but you can still go and people can still go because there are tickets. People bought extra tickets when they were cheaper, and there are tickets available. So if you get anybody in the next 9 days, because that's all it is, it's 9 days from now, that want to go, okay, there's tickets available for like $99. Okay, so we can still get people to go. But anyway, the training tonight I'm gonna talk about how to maximize the 90-day cash promotion that they announced last week. But you may have seen this in Telegram, you may not have seen it. Dr. Catalina, she just had a really, really good month. She increased her overall organization volume by 6,500, but the retainer tracks in March, she was able to hit two of them, and she's got $1,000 bonus coming to her in her commission check this month. So that's always nice. April, and she never talks about herself, but she enrolled three new people, now 10 people for the month. Okay, but what I'm talking about, three people. um, two consultants and a customer in within 3 hours on the last night of the pay period. And it was, I know they were in the work. She kept telling me about them, but, you know, talk about getting it done, got it done. Okay. Now, on the left, Joanne and Jaya, their organizations went over $8,000 in volume for the month, increased over their average normal volume. As I said, Catalina, Dr. Grija was over 6,500 up. Some of you know Ton and Shauki, some of you don't, but they were up over 9,000. And in April and I, our business for the month was up about 12%. Okay, so it was a good month. March did what it was supposed to do. Top enrolling of consultants. And look, let's face it, we love customers. We love getting our 20, 30, 40% commission on customers. But you build the business with consultants and you're hearing it all the time from the company. They're always talking about enrolling consultants. So we got four new consultants last month. Kenneth got two, but get this, on top of the two consultants, 19 customers. Dr. Catalina had two consultants and five customers. This lady is great. You guys don't know her. I don't know if you'll ever meet her. April enrolled this. Um, JL is her name, but she goes by J Beautiful Body. She has a body sculpting place, and she's in SC3 just from gathering customers over the last couple of years. But she's right near us here in Orlando. It's those places that do the body sculpting. 99% or if not 100% women use them. And then of course you'll see Dr. Gordon in Vegas, but she had a consultant and three customers too. So congrats to everybody. Like I said, it was a fun month. We have nine days left to get any new people, but I'm excited. I can't wait to see everybody. I know April can't wait to see everybody. And these are so important. There's a lot of new stuff going on that the company is going to be rolling out. There's always sales and promotions. So anyway, we're looking forward to seeing everybody in Vegas. But if you come across anyone that wants to go, if you don't have a ticket or a way to get one, reach out to us. And I've seen enough of them out there that I trust we can get a ticket for anyone that needs it. So these are the invitations for sharing social media. One has got the Zoom number on it, one doesn't. As I said, it's Tuesday night, April 21st, the Tuesday after we get back. And these are for shareables, and also we got the live link one that's got the actual link in it. We always suggest you make sure that your guest or prospect not only the picture one, this one, but they also get the link where they can just click direct. April, you want to take this?
Yeah, yeah. So lots of exciting meetings going on right after we get back from Vegas. Some are on the big blue calendar, some aren't. This one in particular is going to be our Central Florida. It's between here and Tampa. It's actually closer to where Disney is. So, it's a little outside of Orlando, but closer to Disney. Again, in-person meetings. So I'm going to tell you how I've been doing it. And you can see this is May 13th, 6:30 to 8:30. I think we're doing a 30-minute overview and then an hour and a half training or something. So certainly worth it for everyone's. Put them in your car if, it's too far for them to drive or whatever. I know I talked to one person about, driving halfway here and going the rest of the way. So be creative with this. Put them in your car. If you pick them up, they can't really stand you up either. So, just think about that too. So sometimes we just have to be a little creative with how we get people to in-person meetings. And they always love it once they get there. That's the crazy thing. They're kind of like hemming and hawing. People don't like to get outside their comfort zone, but they do. So anyway, guests and the whole bit, bring it all to Central Florida. And if you do bring anybody, we're more than happy to take care of them, introduce them around, introduce ourselves and stuff. So this was the list that we got on our executive. And I know that there are more in the works. I hear people talking about it and stuff. So best to look here, look there. And so what I do is I'll take somebody like I had a guy, Chesterfield, Virginia. well, he's not really near anybody, but and I didn't even know where Chesterfield was until today. So what I'll do is put it in the map and then try to figure out, well, is Bethesda's flows like 4 hours. There's another one on here for Virginia, Front Royal. Didn't really know where that was either. It's a great way to learn geography for sure, but just figure out because, some of these are a little over 2 hours drive from people. And sometimes you really don't realize unless you're really good. I'm not really good with geography, but sometimes there's a Virginia lady that backs up against Ohio. So there's some weird things. So, play around with it, figure out what meeting is close for the person because it's a huge benefit getting people into these meetings. People are exciting. People can feel, see, and touch one another. So I always make every effort to figure out where everybody is and who I can get into a meeting and stuff. And then I would suggest you figure out who the leader is of that meeting and make an introduction, maybe a text message or whatever, just to say, I've got, Bob Wagner coming to this meeting on May 12th, and I'd appreciate if you'd show him around or whatever. So, that's kind of the kind of stuff you need to do. Everybody's been super cool here in the United States. So we've not ever had an issue. In fact, that's why I look forward to trying to put people in all these different meetings, particularly, we're all so global. We're all over the place talking to people. Everybody's moving all the time and stuff. So used to be if somebody had an area code, that's where they live. That's not true anymore either. So you can't tell. So I always ask, where do you live? And try to figure out, but keep an eye on the Big Blue Calendar because I know they're pressing for more and more meetings. I know there are meetings, particularly Ohio's got a bunch the end of this month, which isn't even on here. Well, maybe April 28th. And then they're going out there for a week for like 5 different stops or something. So I do know enough from everybody else that there's a lot of stuff that will be being put up on the Big Blue Calendar. So best to keep checking it, especially if you're excited about somebody you want to put in a meeting.
And that the May 20th date, for those of you who may not be familiar, King of Prussia is just outside, it's like a suburb of Philadelphia. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And right here, Champions Gate, Florida, that's the one April was just talking about. And anyone in Central Florida, they know where Champions Gate is. It's right off of I-4. And April said a few exits down from all the Disney exits. So it's an area that people are very familiar with. Okay, April?
Okay, so I think Tuesday night was the hydrate for the Axio. Again, just another product. It's funny when they said hydrate, I thought initially for sports people, electrolytes, that type of thing. But a bigger market for a lot of us is the elderly are always getting dehydrated. And this is a great tasting drink for them to be able to have. And we really got the idea, somebody that Bobby was talking to, a pharmacist for his dad, she had all these samples. And so, because what's the name of that product, Bobby? I forget what it's called. We use it for the gym. We use it for the gym and tennis. I don't use it, but yeah, they use a lot of it. I see it around and stuff. But so it's not just a sports thing, for when it's hot outside, particularly as we go into the summer, but the elderly could be an even bigger market because they tend not to drink so much and they get very dehydrated. And it's one of the reasons they wind up going in the hospital is because they're dehydrated. So, certainly if you've got some people that are on the older side, this would be a great product for them. So, and you can see the prices, consultant subscription. Is this the one that there's 10% off on?
Well, yeah, but that ended yesterday.
Okay, ended yesterday. Okay, so you missed that. You snooze, you lose. All right.
Hey, and one of the things, and some of the folks that knew us in the other company, whenever there's a new product, we have an obligation to buy it, use it, and share what it did. And, for $39, everybody should have already ordered this. If you haven't, you should do it because, stories and testimonies sell. And when I was listening to Lisa Barnes the other day, and you know how much I play pickleball, how much April plays tennis and pickleball, when I was listening to her, I'm thinking, well, my doctor really got me drinking a lot of water, and I never liked water, okay? And now I probably drink a gallon and a half, 2 gallons a day. of water, and I'm thinking I'm hydrated. And then I'm listening to Lisa and I'm thinking, well, the water is not doing anything in regards to electrolytes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking, and I'm in this industry, this whole wellness, anti-aging, health industry. And, a lot of people, like April said, not just elderly, but are walking around feeling the detriments of being, underhydrated, okay, and you'd be amazed at how it could help people feel. So, but it all starts with you and me. I mean, ours has been on order for a few days. I think it arrives tomorrow, but I can't wait to try it, and that way I have a testimony on, what to share about it. So, April, two things here.
Yes. So this is the Mother's Day promo. Super cool that they gave this to us early. We usually get it the week
First
before.
time we got something early.
Yeah, can't get the product. So, it's a combination. And if you remember, we had this mud mask a while ago. Everybody, I actually, since I think in the 8 years we've been here, it's twice it's come around. It always sells out. So if you're going to get it, get it. It sells out really quickly. But then you're also getting the hand cream with it. Or if you have the other two, if you buy two hand cream of whatever your flavor or your scent is, you get one free. So our hand cream is always the best. I mean, it's a great hand cream, great for sampling too, if you're gonna or gifting for your downline,
Great for gifting, yeah.
great customers, that's what I do with great customers. I'll send them like the hydrate, few samples, or Axio or hand cream. And so love all these sampling forms that I can continue to. We have these little bags that we put them in, make it look a little fancy. But yeah, so there are some ways that we get it. Also, the lower price on the Mind Body now, 127.99. Again,
So they
if you
made I guess they made the 20% discount that was for 90 days the permanent price now.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So if you're marketing it right, people don't mind if they're well educated. The way to keep people on products is to continually educate them on the product. We all know Protandim, every which way. We know the value of it. But you can imagine the person that's not in the business, not around us all the time, takes one pill a day. And after a while, they're just like, I don't know if this is doing anything. They're hitting my card for $76 every month. I don't know if it's worth it. So, again, you need to, if you see a screenshot of something, whatever, you need to share it with your customers. And they get really, I can tell you, mine gets so excited about little hand notes and little gifts and stuff. They love feeling appreciated. So if you want to keep your customers, make them feel appreciated.
All righty. I'm going to go ahead and cover the promotion for the next 90 days. It's, obviously it started on April 1st. They're calling it the double sharing bonus. But and there's examples here I'll go over, but this is the opportunity to earn 20% on the personal sales volume, customer sales volume of your new personally enrolled consultants. Okay. In other words, when that consultant, if you sign up a consultant, you're getting 20% instead of 10 on their package that they enroll. And all of the customers that they bring in during this period, okay, you're going to get 20% on that, up to a $200 commission per consultant. On how many consultants? No limit. Okay, the limit is $200 per consultant is the maximum commission that we can earn, but we are not limited to how many consultants. So if you did it with 10, it's a $2,000 bonus. If you did it with five, it's $1,000. So, it's amazing. And again, it's up to that. So whatever it is, if they ordered let's just say a pack that had 250 points in it, instead of earning $25, which would $25 on the 250, which is 10%, you automatically get 50 on it, which is 20%. Okay, so it's amazing. It is to be able to tell a new person, if they will, especially somebody that might be looking to recoup their investment, and I'm just going to be honest with you, after dealing with 5,000, 40,000, 200,000 our old company, I just have trouble thinking 250 to $999 is an investment, but in today's world, many people do. Okay. So it's like I said, the double sharing bonus, it's 10 and 10 for a total of 20. So on a small number, okay, if a newly enrolled consultant did 100 points, okay, you got 100 points on what they earned, the normal bonus would have been $10, but with the double bonus, that's another 10, so it's 20. So it's $20 on every 100, okay? So let me give you this example. All right, let's start on the left. You see my mouse moving. It can go up to 30. And that's where, when we first mentioned um, earn double to triple, well, okay, it could be that. So how does that work? Well, let's say Neil enrolls Jack. Okay, so Neil's the light blue, Jack's the dark blue. On a new consultant, Healthy Edge stack, that's 160 points. Okay, in April, starting this month. And Jack enrolls Sid, Ben, and Sally. Okay, that all counts towards your 30%. If that scenario happens in April, and boy, oh boy, is that great for Jack, okay? You want to get a new consultant excited and you help them get two or three for themselves, okay? So where does the money come from? Well, if you look at the top on the right, the Evolve share bonus has always been 10%. The extra bonus we're getting, okay, is 10%, okay? So that's 20, but we're also getting the Evolve first level 10% bonus for first level bonus. Okay. So 10, 10, and 10, that's 30% on 160, 320, 480, 640. 30 times that, where my mouse is, that's $192 commission for you. Okay. For you. So, I mean, folks, there's money in this, okay? If you want to look at it from a little bit bigger number, and you heard Brandon mention this the other day, and I'm not hardcore, and April's not hardcore with everybody needs to get a business pack, although I think we probably should be, because 9.99 you're getting a business that could earn you tens and or hundreds of thousands of dollars, but the same 30% applies. But let's say Neil enrolls Jack, Sid, and Ben again, but they bought business packs instead of the 160 pack, okay, the Healthy Glow pack. Well, 750, 750, 750, that's 2250 times 30%. You made $675 on that scenario. See, it pays for the next 90 days. Get yourself some new legs in this business. Okay, get some new people started. And then, I mean, then just sleep with them, man. Work with them every day to help them get their people. Or the owner of our previous company used to say, man, once you signed up, it was like you were sleeping in their bathtub in their house for a month. You just didn't let go until you helped them get people started in the business. But I'll tell you a secret, folks. You got to lay out the ground rules up front and not change the rules after they enroll. Okay. And that is very important in this business. If you're going to get involved with me in April in this business and you're new, we're laying out the ground rules, okay, up front. You're not just going to buy a pack and think you're buying a lottery ticket, and then we're going to be telling you the things you need to do. No, you're going to understand what you got to do when you get involved, so we both know what to expect from each other. So let's look at this scenario, okay? Let's just take it one level further down, okay? So there's Neil that got Jack, Tim, and Zoe, okay? Now we take it down a level and they get their three, okay? And all we're dealing with is 160s here, those healthy glow. So that's 3, 6, 9. Okay. Look at the volume that is created when you do this. Okay. 10% on the Evolve bonus, 10%, which is the promo, and the 10% for the first level commissions on top of that. So the overall volume we're looking at, because remember, these guys did business packs. Okay, 3,600. Think about this. 3,690 times 30%, you make $1,100. But do you know this number here? What number is that? Isn't that an SC2? I believe 3,500 is an SC2. So we're going to get to rank advancements on the next slide, but look at the kind of money that you or Neil can earn with this scenario. Okay, because this would be a rank advancement, and let's get to that. Okay, one of the other bonuses now is rank advancing, and they're cash rewards for doing it. Okay, and it starts as low as SC1 right here. So what is SC1? If I remember that right, April S2000, right?
Yep.
SC1 2000, SC2 3,500, SC3 6,000. Then we got MC1 is 10, MC2 is 20, MC3 is 40, and then of course 80,000 for EC1. So the markets, all of our markets are included, all right? It's US, Canada, Mexico, and Europe, okay, are in this scenario. But can you imagine that scenario? Let me go back. This scenario we just talked about, the 3,690 and making the $1,100, okay, they'd also hit SC2 and make another 200. But on the way, they had been in SC1. They get both of these. They would earn $350 on top of the 1,100. So they're making 1,400. Okay. These rank, I mean, it starts at the lowest rank of SC1 and you can hit them multiple times. If somebody went from getting started in the business to SC3 and did 6,000, they'd get the 150, 200 more is 350, 250 more. They'd get this $600 on top of the commissions that we were just talking about. Same thing for MC1, 2, and 3. Okay, and obviously it goes as high as 1,000 for helping somebody rank advance to EC1. So, these were on slides, but you can screenshot these if you want. But this is all it is. These are all the options for rank advancing, and these are additional cash bonuses on top of the enrollment bonuses we were just talking about. Okay, and we have a full 90 days, all of April, all of May, and all of June to do this. So let me end my share and just go back to the screen. So let me ask you a question. Do you think in the next 90 days people can make money? Okay, what do you think happens? You got to put yourself back to when you were new. Okay, what do you think happens to a new person when some of that cash is going in their pocket? Does it creates, look, April and I are over 33 years in the industry, and we still talk about the first month in business. See, our first month 33 years ago didn't change. Our first month was our first month. Our first year was our first year. It doesn't change. It's 33 years later, but that first month and that first year, do you know if you help a person earn some of those bonuses in the beginning, they get to tell that story for a lifetime. Okay, a lifetime. And you get to share in it because you enrolled them. Okay, so you get to say we. Not me. Me's a bad word in this business, okay? You get to say we. And, it's, I was talking, I guess, with Lynn and Noel and Liddy this morning. They were doing something like this bonus with the bonus pools before Evolve started because they were trying to get us to understand what was coming and they weren't allowed to tell us. So those bonus pools for accumulating PV, okay, enrolling customers and consultants. Back then, it was mainly it was customers in those pools because back then they were driving customer business and subscriptions. So now they're driving consultants, but they were trying to get us to understand what was coming. So there hasn't been a bonus like this since before the Evolve plan came. And I'll tell you, there's nothing that you and I could do more than help a new person earn money or recoup what it cost them to join us in a 30, 60, 90-day window. How powerful of a story do you give to somebody else if you help them get back their three, four, 500, $999 in their first 90 days and they get to say, I own my business free and clear and it's already turning a profit every month? I mean that's the kind of stuff that we need to focus on starting tonight. That's the kind of stuff. So, April, that's all I got.
Yeah, no, that's I know we were on the power hour. They heard me earlier. That's all that I've been doing since last week when this came out is, talking to people that I'd already talked to about the opportunity and the fact that, if the original 10% wasn't enough, there's a lot more now. So, you know, either get in or get out. So, get off my list or get in. So that's kind of
Well,
I think
it's,
my
I like I said, the company's very being very generous.
Mhm.
And I think I mentioned this to the ladies this morning. I would take it as a challenge. They're doing this, they're allowing us to make unlimited cash instead of another mini trip. Okay. And I would just outperform anything they could have ever imagined with paying out the cash. Because two things will happen. If we do what we should do with this, at some time in the future, they'll do it again. Okay, we'll get a chance to do it again. So let's start right now. I don't care who you've talked to in the past or who you've thought about and didn't talk to. You got something to talk about now because there aren't, and I said this before. What do you think every person that is licensed or permitted to drive Uber as first side income, if Uber notified them and said, for the next 90 days, we will pay you double or triple your commissions for every ride that you take, every person you take wherever they want to go. Everybody'd flip the switch on their app and just start driving to accumulate the money. Okay. And that's the attitude that you and I need to have in this business. Okay. We need to have, and again, we're talking about doing it for new people, but this accounts for us too. We're in it. Okay. We're the same as they are. They have a chance to earn what we earn and vice versa. Okay. So, you know, if you have any concerns about covering your hotel bill in Las Vegas, well, use this to cover the tab. If you have any concerns about your plane tickets or hotel for October, going out to Utah for the global event, see, this is how you pay for stuff. Okay, this is you have a good month with this, you buy the ticket and get the hotel. Okay, and then it's paid for. So April and I have always worked that way. Those of you that know us know we always did things this way. And I'm just glad it isn't a 1 month thing. I'm glad it's a 90-day thing because you can really get on a roll. And let me ask you this, and I'll close with this. How many of you can use a good new line or two in your business? Anyone not be able to make use of a new line or two in their business? Come on, there's nothing like new blood, folks. Nothing. I mean, new blood is new blood, and it's king in this business. There's not any problem that anyone has that a new line wouldn't fix. Okay, we generally say a new recruit would fix any issue going on, but a new leg, which is kind of what we're talking about, really fixes anything. So, April, we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Anyone
Yeah,
got any
good training.
questions in regards to what we covered? Feel free, unmute yourself.
Hey, this is Debbie. Um, Okay, on these double sharing bonuses, do you have to be at the SC1 before you can qualify? Is that what it said, SC1 for president?
You can start getting the enrolling money right away, but
Okay.
obviously the rank advance money starts at SC1.
Okay,
But the 10 and 20%,
Mhm.
that just starts right away.
okay, thanks for clarifying.
Yep. Anyone else? We good? All righty. I'm gonna get this. Again, I appreciate you getting on a Monday right after Easter. It was a little bit odd scheduling, but we'll get it trimmed up and posted so your teammates can watch it whenever they get a chance. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.